What was your reaction to the Live Tour PGA Tour news?
You know, I don't know enough about what really went on there on the inside. I guess I'm not so surprised given that there was a lawsuit, ongoing lawsuit and investigation, and the fact that they were, I think, hurting the golfers at the end of the day. I mean, they were turning golfers against each other. Again, this is just me from a fan's perspective and a fan of the sport. I'd also say that I, golf, just like basketball, is extremely global. There's interest around the world. I think that, I was listening to some of the prior comments on your show, and I hear what people are saying about Saudi Arabia. On the other hand, and this is for good and bad, that when the Saudis invest in sports, it gets outsized attention. Now, I don't want to complain about that because we want to get outsized attention. On the other hand, somebody could go down the list there. They are investors in some of our largest American corporations. Some of the most well-known brands have investments from them. And I also think it's a two-edged sword. I hear the comments about sport washing. On the other hand, you're talking about it, others are talking about it. It's not as if some errant golfer can say one thing about his reaction to Saudi Arabia investing in golf, and that's left at that. I think people are pretty sophisticated. And the same way the World Cup, the football World Cup, soccer World Cup brought enormous attention to Qatar. I think people learn about these countries, learn about what's happening in the world in ways they otherwise wouldn't. So I think the media does its job. But at the end of the day, I also think, and now talking specifically about the NBA, where we're such a global sport, I think people are a little too dismissive these days about the benefits that come from the commonality around sports, that with a sport like basketball, our finals are distributed virtually everywhere in the world. The sport is played everywhere in the world. It's an opportunity to bring people together. I mean, we're talking about, Jokic from, Serbia. We have over 25% of our players now were born outside of the United States. I just think that it's the media does its job.
But have the Saudis looked to invest or buy an NBA team?
No.
What would
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, they certainly haven't come to the league office. And under our rules, an individual can only buy an NBA team right now. You can a fund, and that's what's happening here.
Okay.
It's called a sovereign wealth fund that's investing in the PGA Tour. But we allow funds to invest in teams, but not control teams, not to have influence over teams. So to own an NBA team, there has to be an individual with a certain percent of the team to control it.